Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. This week, in an effort for some good karma, we're talking about charity beers and charity work done by breweries. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hiya.
And we are two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. We are trying to build up that good karma today. We are talking about charities.
We need it.
Need a bit of charity.
It's 2020.
Yes,
we are filming this on Friday the 13th.
Oh, yes, well. Terrible. Oh, if this goes badly, guys, You know why.
It's the curse of the 2020, the last Friday the 13th.
I think it's been all right, actually. So. I've not had a bad day, she says, knocking on some wood. But I think 2020 and Friday the 13th cancelled each other out.
Yeah, that's it. Double negative.
Yeah, it's fine. They've just cancelled each other out. It's fine. We're drinking some good beer.
I'd say I had a bad day, but I think my whole week's just been like, oh, so it's kind of like today is a Friday, so it's probably the best day of the week.
Yeah. So it's the weekend. Here we go.
All ready for this. So yeah, I guess this week we thought we would have a bit of karma in our lives and we'd focus on some charity beers, and we're paying it forward and giving back and all that. So this week, do you want to share everyone what we're going to be looking at this week?
Yes.
Let you do the introductions.
So we are going to be talking about a Brewgooder. I've got one of their global gatherings that they did with salt. What have you got?
Nice. I've just got the normal clean water lager, and I'll tell you, I tried to get it at Co-op originally, and it was like the Co-op collaboration bottle for the global gathering, and I was like, I can't be using a Co-op one. It's like, I need to get the proper one, so I went out and I bought the proper one.
There we go. Then we are going to look at 8 Trill Pils, which is the initiative between Crown and Hops and Brewdog. God, they're going to start calling us the shoot off of the Brewdog podcast soon.
Yeah, they're going to be like, it's not my fault Brewdog have their fingers. Man. They've got their fingers in all the pies. It's really not intentional.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to be bipartisan on our breweries here, but it's just not working out. On that note, we have got All Together by Wylam. Ta-da! Lovely. Oh, it's got a nice back can artwork, hasn't it?
It does. I like the can art on this one.
Yeah. There you go. That's the 3 we're looking at, but we'll talk about other charities as we go along.
Yeah, we put it out to I put it out to 2 of the multiple Facebook groups out there to sort of gauge. I mean, we did our research, but then on top of doing our research, I was like, well, was there anyone, given it's a charity, I didn't want to miss out on any good opportunities to plug somebody's charity. So I think, we'll crack open our first beer, we'll have the first beer, and then we can talk about the charities, and I can highlight some of the ones that, between us, we can highlight some of the ones that people have mentioned. So
brilliant. All right.
Be interesting. Normally, we don't put things out in advance, but I thought I want to make sure we get everybody possible in that wants to be a part.
Engaging the audience, it's good.
User engagement.
Yeah. getting you folks involved. Oh, mine's a bit lively.
Mine was not. Mine was normal amounts of lively, to be fair. Ooh. This is not a clean glass, so I don't really want to showcase it too much.
I scrubbed mine and there's still bubbles. These ones.
This is just the shape of this one is not easy to clean. Okay.
Not too bad.
No.
Mine's got a lovely big head on it. Look at that. So's yours, actually.
Mine does as well, but I would say yours looks a bit hazy. Mine is very clear because obviously it's a lager. So
yeah, mine's like a lemon yellow, and it's got a little bit of haze in it. Probably just a bit of hot particles with a bit of yeast in there, but it's almost clear, and it's got a lovely thick white fluffy head on it. Lots of nice citrusy hops coming from that.
Yeah, I was going to say I got lots of citrus in mine, which I was a bit, I don't know, I wasn't expecting to be as citrusy as it was.
Mine is a double dry hopped pale ale. So that's where I'm getting the hops from.
I'm envious because I love double dry hop.
Yeah,
one of my favourites.
It's got Chinook, Equinox and Amarillo in it. Yes, I'm getting lots of kind of lemoniness. in mine. It's nice. Bit of stone
I was
fruit.
gonna say, I don't think mine actually tells me, because this is just their standard, standard one. But yeah, I can tell you it's 4.5%. So it's
mine's
very
only
sessionable.
4.
It is very sessionable in taste, to be fair. You have probably the better hops, and you've got the double dry hops, but I've got the ABV.
Yeah, it's supposed to be juicy and piney. I don't know if I'm personally getting any pine, but that's just me. I suppose there's a little bit in there. It's nice though, refreshing.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, Brewgooder I think is quite it's quite a good one to start on, because I know I've had it. I don't know if you've had Brewgooder before. I've had Brewgooder quite a few times before.
Yes, I have.
Knowing that it was a charity beer, but not necessarily seeking it out for the charity. I kind of found it and then went, oh, that's quite interesting. So they started in 2016 in Glasgow, and they donate 100% of their profits to clean water charities. They've got at the moment, so they've got 3 sort of standard beers that they do. They do the clean water lager, they do the Chilluzi, and they do one called Moyo juice, I think it's cool. I think that's how you pronounce it, is Moyo juice. So the Chilluzi is a session IPA, and the Moyo juice is a mango and passion fruit pale. What I will say is they brew the clean water lager that's brewed by Brewdog. So they have a partnership where Brewdog does all their brewing for that. I did ask the brewery if Brewdog also did, I asked Clean Water if Brewdog also did the other 2 as well, but what they've said is basically no, they partner with other people to do the other ones. They didn't say who. I didn't really want to sort of start going, oh, who is it? Yeah. But yeah, they did say that sort of Brewdog only does that one, which is quite interesting, that the way they have the partnerships there, I think. And there's one that they have that is their first stout that they've started brewing, and I really want to try it, the Impact.
Yeah, so I was just having a little chat with Craft Beer Pinup from Instagram, and she has just done an interview with Brewgooder and tried it, and she said it's absolutely fabulous. So I'm excited for that one now.
Just doing the research on it, I was literally gone back and forth about 5 times, even though, Joanne, I was like, I'm not buying any more for quite a while. I was like, but it's only £9. I could just get £9. So the Impact they have is a coffee and vanilla stout, and it's the first stout that they've ever done. So it's a bit one of those things where they might be nervous because they've never done a stout before. But it sounds really, really lovely. So they've teamed up with Packed Coffee, who basically, the Packed Coffee is a subscription service, and it's ethically sourced from Brazil and Rwanda, and they actually pay the farmers there 25 to 125% over the fair trade rates, depending on sort of where it is. So that's sort of separate to the clean water initiatives. They also make sure that they're working with people like that who are paying above the standard rates for the labor that they're getting. So it's just sort of ethical all around, and it sounds like a really, really, really delicious beer, just general. I like coffee and I like beer, so to me that is yes, very good. So yeah, you can easily find these as well, the clean water lagers, and I quite like that. I like that you can go, I'm going to get a charity, and you don't have to feel like you have to hunt it down. It's pretty easy. They have them at Co-op, Lidl, Aldi, a lot of different places they pop up in, I think.
Yeah, you can consciously buy a beer that you know is doing good. So I was quite impressed that they have done projects. So they did a project in Malawi where they put in, I think they've now put in 2 clean water tanks there. And one provides water to a school that provides for mother and child services, and there's now water there to a garden that they can then use the food in like a food bank type situation there. So I thought that was amazing, the things that they've done there. And then they've also taught in another one of their projects, they've taught the villagers how to. They put in 2 new boreholes for them so they could get clean water. And then they've taught them how to maintain it, because they'd had a borehole, but it got vandalized and they couldn't fix it. But now, if anything happens, it's sustainable as well. They've not just given them the water, they've given them the ability to look after it and and maintain it if something like that happens again. So it's, a bit of that, teach a man to fish.
Teach a man to fish.
Yeah. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, because it's for them, their mission isn't just to bring clean water to the communities. Like, that's their main priority that they have, but it goes kind of beyond the bare essentials, where they go into what they have listed as they empower their communities to make radical transformative steps, just basically to help lift themselves out of poverty is really what they're trying to do. So they'll say, we'll fund this, we'll give this to you, but then we'll also teach you how to make sure that you can carry on with it. So it's not just like you said, it's a teach a man to fish situation, where it's great if you just give it to them, but if they don't know how to maintain it, what's going to happen there? It's kind of going to go all for naught. So I think it's quite a good thing. And then your beer, as you said, that's the one that's come from the global gathering.
Yes.
So the global gathering couldn't actually happen this year because of COVID, but basically the ask from Brewgooder was they were going to host global gathering, and it was this year it was to take place over World Water Day, which was the weekend of March 20th to the 22nd, basically. And they've asked breweries to sort of partner with them, collaborate with them to create a beer, and each beer, the goal of it was to raise £500+ for charity for the construction of projects across the Malawi as well. So they ended up getting 250 breweries from 25 different countries to participate in it. I had the one they did with Seven Brothers, and it was pretty good. And it's just impressive that the reach they managed to have of that. You've got to think, if 250 breweries each trying to raise a minimum of 500, that you're going to end up with a lot of money. And they were trying to benefit over 44,000 people plus. They were trying to hit 71 communities, and there was a lot they're trying to, no, I think it was 100,000 people is what they were doing. And it's, to me, it's quite it's a good thing that I think is easily forgotten about when you live in a first world country.
Definitely. Yeah. And this is so accessible. Like, you can vote with your beer money to support other people. That's really important.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say, these are perfect for fridge fillers, really.
Yeah.
So if you just need a bunch of fridge fillers, the price point on them, what they're doing with that money you're giving them, and how sessionable they are, to me it's a no-brainer. Perfect fridge fillers. So, and you can do that, as we discussed on our subscription services that came out recently. You can basically have them deliver anywhere from 12 to 280 beers every 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months. So get your hundreds of beers subscription every 2 weeks, and you're definitely supporting villages on your own. So well done. Right, are you ready for your next one? Because I think I'm ready for my next one.
I'm excited about this one.
I know, me too.
This one's been in the fridge calling my name.
I will say that when I was researching Crown and Hops, I found that they had the two people behind it had such an amazing energy. They were so fun to watch. Their videos were fun to watch. They were funny. I was like, they're out playing dominoes. They're like hanging out. I was like, I want to go and join them. This is not fair. I wish I had known when they were over here. I easily would have gone to an event, because it's just, they're such fun and exciting, energetic people, and I love that energy.
Benny and Teo are amazing, and I had their I think it was an IPA and a stout at the Brewdog AGM last year, and they were really good beers. Like, they were nice standard beers. They were good, so that it was a good start. So I'm excited to try the Pilsner. Yeah,
it's very clear, very
perfect Pilsner colour.
Yeah,
clear yellowy gold. Some nice kind of.
My head looks a bit spongy and nice.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good word for it. Spongy. It's got a white spongy head. Medium carbonation bubbles. Yeah, and it floats
and
on the top.
Goes together, spongy.
Yeah. It's got that grainy malt Pilsner aroma.
Yeah. I like it. I really like it.
It's floral.
I think it's very easy to drink. Like, this is incredibly easy to drink.
Yeah. Florally hop, crisp, clean.
Crisp.
Those are the words you want for a Pilsner.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would go out on a limb and say I actually enjoy drinking this more than I enjoyed drinking Daya's Tappy Pils. And I know a lot of people will be pretty mad at me for saying that, because it's
How
Daya,
dare
and
you.
it's like, Daya doesn't do anything wrong, do they? But also, I think for me, it's a good example of a Pilsner without being overpowering, without being an overpowering Pilsner, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah. So I find that I prefer a Czech Pilsner to a German Pilsner, because a Czech one tends to be more malty. This, to me, is a bit more of a German one, because it's got that bitterness from the hops in it. But that bitterness isn't overpowering, I don't think. Like, there's nice floralness to it. There's a bitterness that just cuts through that. And it's just like crisp and refreshing. It is a crispy boy.
It's definitely a crispy boy. I feel like we need to have a soundboard, and every time someone like says crispy boy, we need to have like a ding 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 ding. Like we've said, like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Did you ever watch Pee-wee's Playhouse or anything? And they had like the secret word, and everyone just starts going like every time. We need something like that for crispy boys, because it's just I feel like that's our catchphrase now.
That's our,
but yeah, it's very the bitterness is noticeable, but it's not something that's like unbalanced, like it's not left unchecked with other flavors, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. It's very tasty.
All right, so you seem to know about them. Do you want to tell us more about them?
Yeah, so Crowns and Hop Brewing are Benny the Dope Ashburn, who is the CEO. And we think it's really cool that they've got a female CEO. And then the head of beer operations is Teo the Dank Hunter. So originally they were called the Dope and Dank. And so they had a social media movement called Black People Love Beer and Brown People Love Beer. And then that developed into Crowns and Hop Brewing Co., which is the first Black-owned brewery in Inglewood, California. They then partnered with Brewdog, who helped them move along. They did some crowdfunding, but I don't think it paid off in the end. But they've carried on their mission, and then they have now partnered with Brewdog again for 8 Trill Pils, which is a mission to support people of colour in the brewing industry, and also to bring people of colour and white communities together, so that everyone's working together in the brewing industry. Like, women are underrepresented, but people of colour they're really underrepresented in the industry. And it's one of those things where if you walk into the craft beer scene and there aren't people like you in it, how do you know that you can be a part of it? So, and beer's for everybody. So let's just get everybody involved. So I'm all behind it. So Brewdog have pledged $100,000 to the 8 Trill Pils mission, and that is going to go towards initiatives to support people coming into the beer industry. So there's criteria that they've got to go through, but it is to build like breweries and tap rooms, and to get people of colour into the industry with us, because we need them there. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. And I think it's the one thing that was clear from doing the research and watching the videos. I was saying they've got such great energy, but watching the videos, you see there's a lot of, people of color in the videos. But what was great to see was that while it was a majority of people of color, it didn't matter if they were in Scotland talking to a room full of white people, or they were in parts of Atlanta talking to a majority Black people. You then also get the crowds where it was just so diverse and so mixed of everybody, and they were just as warm and inviting for everybody. And I felt that it was very much that they were bringing the people of color sort of more to the forefront, but bringing them to the table and giving them a voice at the table, and not saying, well, your 5 seats need to go and they need to be filled with, 5 people of color. They're saying your 5 seats are fine. Let's add 5 more seats. And it felt very inclusive and very inviting. And it was just, we're trying to bring more attention to people of color. It's not taken away from you. It's just, we want part of it as well. And there's nothing wrong with just extending your table out for more people, and I think it's really great. And to touch on your point about the you enter a community and you don't see anyone that looks like you, I think beyond that, in the US, from my experience in the US, it's craft beer isn't something that is around those type of communities being seen as like a cool thing to be a part of, or something that's necessarily what they'd be giving a second thought to. So people in those situations don't even always know that they will like craft beer. But when you start seeing people that reflect your values, you then start saying, well, maybe I should try it as well. And that's when you try it and you go, oh, actually, I quite like this. So I think what they're doing is such a positive thing. And I think they're not marketed enough over here. I think that they should be putting way more marketing over here, because they are absolutely brilliant. And I feel like they alone, their personalities could just completely sell it for me.
They're really inspiring. Like, as people, they're just really inspiring. I love a bit of Benny's Instagram. She's brilliant. Like,
yeah, she's and that's the thing, is not only is she empowering for people of color, she's empowering as a female, to be a female Black CEO, a proud Black female CEO. Like, it is really, that's going to inspire other people.
Yeah.
But whatever your color, as a female, it's going to inspire you. And I think it's really great.
Yeah. If you can't see it, you can't be it. So let's make everybody be able to do whatever they want. We are behind it. Let's use our privilege 100%. For good, yo. Go buy some Trill Pils. Drink it.
I do. I honestly, I bought a few of them, but I ended up kind of giving them out to people because I wanted other people to get to try them as well.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I sort of was like, part of me wants to hoard them all for myself. Then the other part of me is like, no, maybe if I get it out there, more people will look into it as well. And then more people will hear about them that maybe didn't know who they were before.
Yeah.
So
they are brilliant.
Gave a lot of them away.
Like, they're so good. It's exciting.
It's really good. Like I said, their video, I was like, I want to go to this party. Can I go?
I want to go to their bar. Let's go to their tap room.
Let's take our podcast on tour to California.
Yes. I think that sounds brilliant. Let's do it.
But yeah, so we have reached out, obviously, like we mentioned at the beginning, to the Facebook groups, to ask for just what other people know about of charity beers, and we've done some research ourselves, and I thought maybe we'd just highlight some that stood out really. So I don't know if you knew about this one, Electric Beer, which is I
don't think I did know about that one.
They've done Forever Home, which is they've teamed up with Bath Cats and Dogs. So basically you can buy this beer and it's bringing attention to the importance of adopting your pet, and they each have a QR code on it. There's illustrations of animals from that centre, and they've got a QR code, and then you can go and read the stories, and they donate 30p from each can, which goes to the charity. And I'm a pet person, so for me I was like, this is really nice. And I know, obviously, to bring it back to Brewdog again, I know they did the was it the Stray Dog? Was that what it was called? And or it was they called it Stray Dogs, basically punk IPA, wasn't it? With the
punk
picture
IPA
of dogs,
the
dogs you could adopt.
Street Dog. Is that what it's
Street
called?
Dog. That's what it was. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, I think you're right. This is where we get accused of not doing our research. I did all the research. That's the one I didn't do.
Just try not to talk about Brewdog all the time.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not looking into that one because I'm just going to vaguely mention it.
Too late.
So there was that one. So I thought that one was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we're British. We love an animal. Right? I just, if I could adopt all the dogs, I would do it. If I could hug every dog in the world, I would do it. So another one that it's a bottle shop actually that obviously is close to me, that I've mentioned to you before. So Hobby Place, obviously, we moderate in the same group with the owner of that. He actually raised money for Helen Douglas, which is the local children's hospice charity. And for October, instead of Sober October, he was like, don't go sober for October. They donated, I think, 20% of their profits went to that charity for the children's hospice. And the reason, beyond the fact that they're a great bottle shop that was doing some charity work, that I mentioned it as well, is I know Phantom Brewery also offered to match what was donated. So They sort of partnered up and they both did the charity together. And I can say that Dave at Hobby Place raised 644 and 73 pence for charity. So well done. Yeah, good. Well done.
Well done for charity.
Yeah.
So another one that I found during lockdown that I quite liked. I can't say who the brewery is because I haven't a clue. I've done the research, can't figure out who's actually brewing it. No idea, but one of my favorite musicians, Frank Turner, he went and he was like, look, there's Fight Back Lager. He was doing shows to help support small venues, and this Fight Back Lager was also meant to help benefit Music Venues Trust. So that's to help in this time that nobody can go to shows and no one can keep these venues open, or we have to socially distance, and it makes it very hard for there to be actual shows going on. Fight Back Lager donates 5 pence of every pint or bottle to the Music Venue Trust. And that basically is helping grassroots music venues survive. So to me, I feel like it kind of doesn't matter who's brewing it. To me, music and live shows are so close to my heart that I'm like, I'd still support it, even if it was, I don't know, there's only a few people I wouldn't support that. So that's a pretty exciting one. Do you want to tell us about the Brew York one then?
Yes, so Brew York did a beer called Turtle Eclipse of the Heart. I love that pun. That's great. And that was for Project Biodiversity. And it donates 10p of every can to Project Diversity charity, which is committed to protecting unique wildlife through community-driven environmental protection programs. So I mean, it was a really good beer as well.
Yeah, and, it was really good. I had it.
Yeah. And it is a sustainable environmental project to inspire others to care for the natural world around them. And I mean, I'm an animal lover, so I've always been like that. But I think putting that in front of people and making them a bit more aware of the natural world around them is really useful. So that was a really good one. Then we've also got our wonderful friends Toast. We love a bit of toast.
Yeah, toast.
Yeah. So 100% of their profits, or 1% of revenue, whichever is greater, of theirs goes to charities for fixing the food system and to magnify their impact. So that's pretty good. So far, they've used Feeding the 5,000, the Gleaning Network, the Pig Idea, Stop Dumping, and the FSE Network. So yeah, that they do some really good work. As you know, I think we're going to do an episode just on toast at some point. So watch this space.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a sustainability market, and now it's like not only just sustainability charity, so it's kind of like the charities. It's not to like an amazing price point. So it's
good beer and like trying to fight food waste and all that as well. It's all good stuff. Do you want to talk about Seven Brothers? I know you like a bit of Seven Brothers.
Yeah, I do like Seven Brothers. So they've done 2 different charity ones. They've got King of the North, which they have just very recently released. It's named in honour of the Manchester mayor, Andy Burnham. Is Burnham? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Andy Burnham.
Not very good. Yeah, Andy Burnham. So they've teamed up with Tip Jar and hospitality mates they've got around the Manchester area to help support the most vulnerable individuals in that area. So people that, because obviously the hit the hospitality industry is taking, people not being able to work, their work's closing down, they're not able to get the support they need. Basically, you buy this beer, or you could just donate. You don't even have to buy the beer. You could just donate straight to Tip Jar, and Tip Jar they'll assess. It's not that it just goes to anybody. They assess the need and then they send the money out to the people that are approved to get the funding. And I thought that one very topical for today, very topical for the moment, because when we're recording this, we're all basically back in lockdown again. So it's a very good charity, and knowing Seven Brothers is probably a very decent beer as well.
Tip Jar relates back to Brewdog as well.
See, I didn't even know that one. So let's
so Tip Jar is JB, who is, let me get his role right. He is the retail director for Brewdog. It's his charity that he set up.
Well, I was going to say you have to know his name, because you'd be rubbish if you didn't.
I was like, I know it's JB's charity. I've got to remember what his role is. He's the dude that we all complain to when something doesn't go right at a bar.
Brilliant. I that was unintentional, people. I did not mean to.
Sorry, more Brewdog. We're going to stop it. I'll take my sign down as well. I apologise.
Yeah, to replace that with Danny DeVito. Get that out of there. So the other 7 brothers we've got is Good Day IPA. So they've teamed up with Tim Bacon Foundation and they donate 60p for each can to that charity, which is great. And then we've got one that was actually advised to us is No Heroes Brewing, and that they work in partnership with One Tree Planted. And they basically, for every sale they make, they plant a tree. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. And they had some really nice artwork on the cans. They put like animals on the cans. When I was Googling this, it was pretty nice. So I quite like the can work. Another one suggested to us was Big Hug Brewing, and that they've partnered up with Only a Pavement Away. And that is a charity that it represents the hospitality industry. They act as a conduit to help vulnerable people at risk of becoming homeless, and they help them basically find jobs within the hospitality industry. I don't know if you know anything about that, because I know obviously with your work you
know what?
do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so my day job, I actually work for a homelessness charity. I hadn't heard of that actually, but I think that's really good. So I mean, with homelessness, there are so many factors that make it happen. But I mean, it's not always just about getting a roof over someone's head. It's about establishing their life. Like, because a roof over your head isn't your home. So getting you to a point where you can have your own home and you're able to pay for it and you're back into, getting that air quotes back into society, having a job, that being able to do it through supporting into the hospitality industry is a really good way of doing it, I think. Might have to seek that
and I think
out.
what I really liked about this one, so for this one, it's not necessarily a certain set amount per can or bottle. It's just basically to commemorate the relationship they have, because they make a yearly donation to this charity. And what I really like about the charity, as I was looking into it, is that the fact that it is at risk people. So it's not like it would be great if they were helping already homeless people, but they're actually trying to help curb the problem of becoming homeless by saying, before you get to that point, let's try to help you, and
prevention,
let's try to get you a job. And it's great.
So prevention's so important. Like we the charity that I work for we do massive amounts of prevention work, because if you're just on that borderline, almost going to tip over into homelessness, sofa surfing, like getting the help to actually get you back on your feet so you don't get into that, what can end up being a vicious cycle. Like, that's really important. So preventative work is very, very important. So go buy some of that beer.
Yeah, I was after this, I was like, I do kind of want to look into it now.
Yeah.
It sounds really, really, really interesting. It's not one I'd heard of before.
Yeah.
We've also another one that is also to do with homelessness, which I thought you also might be interested in. Somebody had sent me a message about this. They worked on the artwork for it, I believe it was Radio City Beer Works, and it's called Cool to Be Kind. And Cool to Be Kind is apparently a charity who helps support the rough sleeping in Chelmsford. And so it's an American pale ale. I don't believe it's come out yet. I believe it's coming out, because I saw the artwork for it. The artwork was really cool, really, really cool. Cool to Be Kind. It was really cool. So the name of the beer is Cool to Be Kind, and the charity is Cool to Be Kind. So they've named it after the charity. And I just thought it was a really good connection they have of helping this charity, who are helping people that are sleeping rough, and which obviously doesn't make them homeless full time, but I think that that's got to help make an impact. So I think that's quite a good thing. Yeah. Have you ever heard of that charty before?
No, I've not heard of either. I know it's
Chelmsford, so
yeah, no, I've not heard of either of those charities. So we work with, well, I mean, we know of, Crisis and Shelter and all of the big ones, but that's a bit far away from us. We're just based in Kent, so we edge out a little bit into London, but not massively into London. So we're Bexley mainly, but that's really interesting. Like, because it's like homelessness is a problem, and it's only about, and like almost homelessness, let's call it, is going to get worse at the moment. The situation we're in, lots of people have been made redundant, or on furlough, and some people aren't covering their bills, and so it's going to be more of a problem. And we're finding that with us. So the more charities that there are that can support that, because there's only so much that councils can do. They probably could do more, but that's my personal opinion. But you know, these charities are around to support these people because there's a need. So we'd love for there not to be a need.
Yeah.
We're currently reviewing our strategic plan, and we're like, our ultimate goal is for there to be no homelessness. But, you know, we don't want to be here really, but we are here to support those people. So the more little charities and big charities that are there to support that, the better. So go and help. People need you.
So yeah, I thought you might find those two in particular quite interesting.
Yeah, it's good.
We also had, so Tim from Fallen Acorn recommended one that they did, which is Pompey Royal. It's a best bitter. They donate 5p a pint towards Portsmouth Hospital's charity, which is quite good. In a similar vein, there's Doc's Beer, which does a beer called True Grit, which donates 10p per sale for the Health Tree Foundation, which works in partnership with Northern Lincolnshire and Goole Hospital NHS Foundation Trust. You've then got Hillside Brewery, which does Hops for Tomorrow, which is 25p a bottle, goes to a charity, Hope for Tomorrow, which is a mobile cancer centre, a cancer care charity, which I know obviously you've had people in your life affected by cancer. I've had people in my life impacted by cancer. So to me, that one, I really wanted to check that one out, a mobile cancer care centre. I thought that was a really interesting one.
Yeah.
So. And then, there was I know Gypsy Hill, they were one of the first ones that I noticed that did the pints for the NHS. So you could buy a pint for the NHS or you could donate to a pot. So when this is all over and an NHS staff member goes into one of the locations that they support, they can basically say they work for the NHS, show their card, and they could get a pint on Gypsy Hill. So I thought that one was quite good. And I think quite a few breweries adopted that similar process of having the pints for the NHS.
Duration did it. My local Canterbury Brewers did it. And Old Dairy Brewing, who is down this way in Tenterden, they put together a pale ale called Frontline that they then raised money. I think it was 20p per bottle went to NHS charities as well. So lots of money going to the NHS charities because we need them right now. Very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think some like pubs I saw as well, just probably like smaller pubs, just said, they've set up charities as well, so that when the pubs open back up, workers can go in and get pints there as well. So not even just breweries limited to, it's just hospitality industry in general. I think that was quite a common one. And then the final one that I've got is we've got North Bar for North Brewing. Apparently they donate 10p a pint for their session pale, and it goes to their nominated charity. And at the moment, their current nominated charity is Action Against Hunger UK. So I thought that was quite interesting. So they obviously change it up every so often. It's kind of like when you go in the supermarkets and they're like, which charity do you want to give your money to? It's sort of like that. It's quite a cool idea to change it up so you're not always just
because there's so many
solely.
So many good charities that need support. Like, gotta mix it out.
Exactly, and then I think like Wiper and True did one, Hogshead Brewery did one. There's a whole load of them out there. And at the moment, if you're on the Craft Beer UK page, the person Simon that started the group Craft Beer UK, he's also started a Craft Beer for Charity page. That's not fully set up at the moment. He's picking a charity that it's going to go to, and he's sort of understanding what he wants to do at that page at the moment. But if you want to sort of support through Facebook on a more localized level, you can go check out Craft Beer for Charity and see what they are going to get up to over there. So that's the list of charities.
I've got one more. Resilience from Sierra Nevada that was right at the beginning of the year. They put out for when the wildfires were happening over in California. They put together a recipe and they got 1,400 breweries to brew that and raise money to help support those that have been displaced by the wildfires. So that was really good as well. I wanted to grab one of those because it was American. I didn't manage to get one, but that was all good work.
Well, that's it. I know that was highlighted, but I sort of there was a few charities that I skipped over in a naughty way because I was thinking, I don't think people here are going to be able to get their hands on those beers because obviously they're like US beers. So there was that one, and then there was Ales for ALS, but that was a US based charity as well. So there wasn't really much we could do, and I think there was some that were mentioned in North Carolina and a few around the States that I was like, we'll never be able to get it here. So I didn't necessarily want to like start go look for this beer sounds amazing and here's an amazing charity, but you'll never have it. So there's that. And then the only other one mentioned is Matt from Siren had mentioned that he brewed a beer with Little Faith last year called Harry, and 50p from every pint of that went to a little lad called Harry who had CP and was saving for life-changing surgery. So that was another well done. Yeah, that is really, really lovely. So we had quite a few, and there were some suggestions of beers that they wanted to brew for charity. Someone said they wanted to brew one. Someone in Paul said that they wanted to brew a brain tumor charity beer. As he and his mates met in the US, where they each had a child getting treatment for a brain tumor. Wow. So he wanted to do a charity beer where they all get to meet up again, and then they brew a beer for charity for that, where they all met. And I thought that was really touching. That's really nice. So I thought it was worth mentioning that it's not a beer, but he wants it to be one. And I totally support that, because I think that's a really good one. So.
Yeah, that's really good. Right, are we ready for our last beer?
Yes, let's get into it.
Right, Wylam's version of All Together, the recipe made by Other Half. There we go. Oh,
if you could pick a charity beer that you would get, what charity would you want to support if you were gonna brew a charity beer?
I always support Macmillan, because as we alluded to earlier, I've been touched by cancer. My mum passed away 3 years ago now from breast cancer, and Macmillan made such a difference when she was going through her treatments and stuff, like, because she went through it twice. And the first time, like, it's just because she was a teacher, so there came a point where she couldn't work, and just the support that they gave to my mum and dad about working out their money and what they what support they could get, and they're so supportive, and they give the best advice. And, so when it's cake sale time, I'm all over that, making all the cakes, supporting Macmillan, because they're a really important resource for people that are going through cancer. So important. So I would do a beer for Macmillan.
Yeah, no, that's again, as we alluded to, I was also so my mother-in-law had cancer for many years before she passed, quite a few years ago now, and we've done signed up for fun run and all that. The one this year didn't happen, obviously, because of COVID. I was partially pleased, because I was like, I'll just give you the money. Please don't make me run. Don't make me run. But I was like, unless something's chasing me, I really don't want to run. Cakes. Yeah, I would rather go the cake route. Honestly, that's better than the running. But I'm married to a fitness guy, and he's like, run's not going to kill you. I was like, it might do. But Macmillan's a good one. I think also what's quite close to my heart is mental health issues and all that. So I'd quite like to make mine one that goes to Mind, or one of those other mental health charity. That would be my idea.
Mine's a really good one. Some
really good charities out there we could be making beer for.
Just good. Yeah, good charities. And just make donations to charities, people. Don't buy a beer this week, and instead donate it to a charity instead.
Take a little bit out of your paycheck every month and just go, here's a tiny bit, it's going to charity. Even if it's not very much, not very much is going to do a lot for a charity that needs the money. So
I actually, completely unrelated to beer, I do the postcode lottery every month, and they support loads of different types of charities. So, there's a chance you might win some money, but I'm sticking £10 in a month to the postcode lottery, and it goes to some brilliant charities.
I didn't know that about the postcode lottery.
Yeah, so it goes to all different types of charities. So some the profits and stuff. So that's really good. I do that, and I do loads of charity stuff because I'm a girl guider as well. So that's voluntary, and technically the role that I do makes me a trustee. So I'm a trustee of a charity, volunteer at a charity, I work for a charity.
You're just very charitable all around. You've got all your good karma in.
My karma's all up there.
Really, this episode was for me to get my karma in.
Yeah, mine's up there. I'm fine. Should we talk about this beer?
Yeah, I am ready to try it, because it smells really nice.
It smells amazing.
Yeah, it smells very fresh. I would say lots of freshness.
And it's not the newest either.
No. We've been sort of sitting on this one for
sitting on them.
We've had too many things going on that we've been sitting on it for a while. So I was very excited for this one. We were originally going to do, I think I can admit this, we were originally going to do an episode all for doing all-togethers.
Yeah.
And we were going to talk about sort of lockdown and the all-together beers and all that. The problem was when we went to go check out the beers on the website, I checked out first. Joanne was a bit greedy. She went to go look for more beers.
I was filling my box, which is better for the environment. Thank you very much. And also I wanted free shipping.
You went to go check out that Vault City.
Yes, I did.
And then I checked out because I was like, no, I'm not spending any more. And then I get a message from Joanne that says, I think you just bought the last one because it's disappeared from my cart. So one of the ones that we bought, there was only one in stock. We didn't realize, and I got it. And I don't remember. It might be Brass Castle. I don't remember which one it was. But it was really, really funny because we were like, yeah, we're going to have like 3 of them. It's going to be really good. And then she was like, excuse me, I think you might have just bought the last one.
It was only like a couple of minutes I was looking at beer. Like, I think there was only one left. I don't think it would have mattered if I was looking for, if I'd have checked out straight away.
No,
there was only one
left. It was literally, I checked out and it was about like 2 minutes after that. And you were like, it's gone. I don't know what's happened. It made me laugh either way when I got that message because I was like, great.
Yeah, we found it funny.
So yeah, yeah, I find it really funny. But yeah, the all-together beers, basically, they were created by the US brewery Other Half. So I don't know how much do you already know about it? How much do we need to fill in?
So I know that it's to support hospitality professionals because it was at the beginning of lockdown number 1 because we're on lockdown number 2 now. Because all of our hospitality venues were closed down, those workers, if they were lucky, they got put on furlough. If not, they got made redundant. So there wasn't a lot of support for them in their roles, and so Other Half decided to create this worldwide collaboration with breweries. They came up with the recipe for an IPA and put it out there and was like, right, take this base recipe, do what you like with it, and make your version of it and put it out there. Here's the artwork to help you like do that. We want you to be able to like brew this and get as much out of it, like a percentage of this profit to go to a charity around you that is supporting hospitality professionals where they are struggling right now. It was a lot of breweries that took part in the end, wasn't it? Do you know exactly how many?
I don't know the final numbers because I don't think it was actually listed
changed,
anywhere.
Didn't it? Yeah.
So part of the reason that makes that so difficult is people are still brewing it now. So actually what I forgot to mention when I was talking about Brewgooder is Brewgooder actually just released one with Overtone and they've just done an all-together one. And so they're still being brewed. So it's I've not seen a total figure of here's how many people have done it, but then they've also, it's not just to releasing it to the breweries themselves, they also released it for homebrewers. So if homebrewers wanted to make it themselves, homebrewers could make it as well. And I think it's obviously, while the initial mission of it is to give money to the hospitality industry, what I think came out of that, and feel free to disagree with me, is I think it actually brought a lot of togetherness as well. So it's called All Together, and beyond just being all together to look out for each other and make sure that hospitality industry is taken care of in this time. And it also brought a lot of people together because it's a US brewery that's created this recipe. They've then gone, here, floodgates open, anyone can do it, breweries can do it, home brewers can do it. And we're all going to have the same, they don't all have the same label on the back, but what they do all have is they all have this on the front that has the all together, with variations of it, but it has the all together in a circle. And I think it's brought this unity across countries, across breweries, across everything. And I thought that was really nice about it.
Yeah, it's so important because I seem to. I'm saying it's so important for everything that we're talking about, but all of these causes are
It all's
important
really
in their own way.
important.
They're all really important. But specifically because we are a beer podcast, like the hospitality industry has been hit really hard. Like I'm an ex theatre worker. The entertainment industry has been hit really hard. The hospitality industry has been hit really hard by this because getting together is what those industries are about. And it's like the way things are going, some of our smaller, well-loved breweries could not come out, like they may not come out of this at the end. So it's been really great seeing everyone come together and do this. And like, for example, two of my little breweries around here, they got to, so two, North Down and Wantsum, got together and they produced, they were the only people in Kent to produce an all together beer, and they did it together. And they did the all together, and they also managed to get all of the ingredients donated to them. So 100% of the profits they were able to give to a charity to support this. So, you know, it's amazing what people have done and you know, sacrificed, because they may be struggling as well. Like in the blurb from Other Half, it does say take some to support yourselves and then put some to the charity. So I'm sure, you know, things like that have happened along the way. But I know our guys gave 100% of the profit of it, because they got all the ingredients for free, into a charity to support people, because they were doing okay still. But it, you know, it's amazing the little people that have got, like the little groups that have got together, the big brews that have got together. Everyone has pulled together to support people in hospitality. And, you know, if we haven't got people in hospitality, we're not getting the good beer anymore. So we've got to keep it going.
That's it. And I've kind of always said that, you know, my stance, and I wouldn't change it whether I'm saying it on a podcast or anywhere else. I would rather live in a world where COVID still exists, but we have the hospitality industry, than to live in a world where everything's shut down, it's completely all gone, COVID's gone, but then all you do is wake up, go to work, come home, go to bed, because everything that we enjoy outside of work is gone. Yeah. And it's not to minimize obviously the risk of, you know, the impact of COVID, but it is a fact. To me, these are the key things that make all of this worthwhile, is having these to come and relax. Yeah. You know, you've had a long day, I'm going to go to the tap room at this brewery that I love, or, you know, and if that's all gone, it's like, what's even the point? Not to get doom. I feel like it just got doom and gloom, but like, it's that, what's the, you know, if I can't have these amazing breweries and these amazing hospitality industry, you know, what's even the point?
We don't live to work, we work to live. Something that
exactly
one of my college tutors said to us. She was like, we're here so that you don't want to be living to work, you want to work to live. So
yeah, and I think the thing yeah, exactly, that's what I do, work for my beer money. I think the thing that was cool as well about the recipe that Other Half gave out is basically they gave suggestions on the hops to use, and they gave suggestions, but they didn't want to dictate what any brewery should do. They didn't, you know, they wanted to allow for a brewery to do it in their style, in their voice, how they wanted it. Like you said, they said, here's the label to make it really easy for you if you want no effort, but feel free to go out, feel free to do it how you want it. I mean, I know that in Other Half's own version, they use Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Cascade hops, which are the exact same hops that Wylam used in theirs as well, I believe. But not every brewery chose to use the exact same hops. Some of them varied it. They wanted to give it a bit of a change in the taste and different quantities of things. And I thought it was great because they said, here's this overarching recipe, but here you go, take it and make it your own. And it's the thing that sort of unifies everybody, but also breaks it down into the local unity to say, here's going to be what we want the local taste to be like. And I thought that was, it's cool that they weren't trying to go, here's the strict, rigid guidelines. They were just like, here's an idea, go with it, do what you want with it, just support a charity.
That's a tribute to the creativity of the brewing industry, I think. That, you know, this is a recipe, but do your own spin on it. So I've actually printed out the home brewing recipe, but I'm rubbish at pale ale, so I might not make it.
I think you should try it.
Give it a go. Every time I've made I'm just not a pale ale brewer. I can brew you a stout.
The problem is, if
brew you a double.
If you don't do it, you're never gonna do it.
Yeah, but I've done it, but they're not very good. My pales just aren't very good. I think it's just because I don't love pales.
So you're just like, don't care.
I don't love IPAs, and I'm like, I'll chuck a bit of that in, and I chuck a bit of that in. Whereas, just brewed a pumpkin double, use the toast recipe, and I was just like, this is lovely. It tastes amazing, Tori. Before the yeast had even hit it, I had a little taste, and it tastes like pumpkin bread.
Cheeky taste.
It was amazing.
You have to send me one.
Yeah.
It's the bottle back and everything.
It's a double.
Very good.
So it's going to be boozy. I reckon it's going to come out between 6 and 7, like 7%. And actually, the fermentation went mad not long after I set it going. And normally it takes like a good 12 hours to get going. Like a few hours in, and it was bubbling away. It's still normally kind of my brews kind of settle down after a couple of days. This is still, it's slow, but there's still, when I look at it, you can still see carbon dioxide coming off of it, and it's doing a little blub. So there was plenty of sugar in there. The yeast is enjoying itself immensely right now. It's going to be good. I'm excited.
I want to try it. I want to try it.
Surplus bread
now.
Leftover pumpkin. Yeah. It's great.
And Toast gave you a shout out. They were like, "Well done, Joanne, brewing our beer."
They messaged me because I did a did it in my Instagram stories and did videos along the way, which at some point when I get 5 minutes, I'm going to edit them all together and put them on my Instagram TV so you can see a whole brew day in one go. But I was doing that, and so I tagged them in it a couple of times because it's their recipe as opposed to one of my recipes. And they messaged me and was like, "Oh, can you get some pictures? Can we feature you doing it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, cool. Here's some pictures." I had to run through and go, Gordon, that's my husband. Gordon, you got to come and get a picture of me stirring the mash so I can send it to Toast.
At least you didn't try to set up the 5-second delay on the photo and
no.
I've got brewing.
I've got one that does I've got a moving gimbal that I put my phone in for when I'm doing stuff so that it follows me, and I could have done it that way, but it's easy just to get Gordon to come through and do it. He's my personal cameraman when I need him. Made him stop watching the football. Come on, get involved.
I need help.
Yeah, your turn. Come on. I've been doing the rest of it all by myself. It's your turn. Come and take a picture.
So good. Oh, I quite like this. It's
I like it.
I don't know how I got a bit orangey at the beginning of it, but that seems to have gone now.
Right, so for description, it is a hazy yellow. It had quite a fizzy head on it, but my head's gone now when I've been drinking it. Is your head? Yeah, your head's gone almost as well.
Yeah, I've been drinking it.
Yeah,
but I would say that the hazy levels, mine's only just hazed.
It's not soupy.
I can only just see my finger through it. It's not clear, but it's only like a mild haze.
Yeah, it's hazier than my Global Gathering, but it's not soupy. It had a bubbly white head on it. I'm getting broccoli. Getting broccoli because it's got mosaic in it.
I was going to say, isn't that mosaic?
Yeah. But it's a bit...
Since you said that, I smell is just it's broccoli now. I smell them and I go, it's a bit vegetative.
Yes.
Is this mosaic?
See?
You got me something there.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
But there's what am I getting? Is it tropical fruit? Pineapple?
Yeah, it's tropical fruit, but it's not a discernible one of the tropical fruit family. It's just kind of
juicy,
more of a tropical fruity way. Yeah, juicy. I would say it's fresh. It's got a freshness to it. Even though, like we said at the beginning, it's
just been sitting there. It's not very bitter, which I like. Bit carbonated. There's something at the end.
I would argue there's a bit of chewiness to it. I'd say it's a bit chewy when I swallow it. I'd say mine is a bit chewy when I swallow it. When I do a swirl around the mouth.
I don't get that. But it's not thin. There's something.
Maybe it's because mine's warmed up a little bit.
Maybe.
It's
there's something at the end. There's something fruity at the end, and I can't discern what it is.
I'm gonna say something a bit weird. And it's not a bold, like you're used to all the weird things I say.
Go on.
I would almost say there's kind of like a hint of banana in there somewhere, weirdly for me.
Yeah.
But not that the fake banana, if you know what I'm saying. It's not the artificial banana that when someone says, oh, the flavor is banana, like it's more like a natural banana type linger into it. And I don't know if that's maybe just me and my weird taste buds, or
There is something in there that I can't discern. And I'm wondering if it's whatever yeast they've used, because they've not said on there what yeast they use.
No, it doesn't say.
I'm wondering if it's just like the House Wylam yeast. And I wonder if that's got a bit of a fruity ester to it. And that's what you're getting.
Maybe.
Because there is
just a bit of I was like,
maybe it is banana. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that I can't pick out is banana.
Did I get one right on my own with no prompting?
Yeah.
Like that's a weird one for me to get as well. Like it's not an easy one, is what
I'd say. Because I don't think, I don't think I would expect there to be banana in that, which is why I'm like, what's that?
Which is why it was like, I'm going to say something really weird. Because I was like, I'm not expecting banana either. So it could be my taste buds running wild because I had 2 dippers last night. So it could be my taste buds just going, what even is this anymore?
No. And I'm thinking that's coming from the yeast. I think it's an ester from the yeast. From the yeast.
That would make sense.
I don't think you'd necessarily, correct me if I'm wrong, people. I don't think you'd necessarily get that from that combination of hops. You might do, but I think that's coming more from the yeast.
But that's it. I having those hops before, I've never gone, oh, I'm getting a banana from them before.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I don't know if this is right.
I don't think I've had very many Wylam beers. Someone's going to lynch me now, aren't they?
I think I've had one before.
I
got one from Helen. Sent me one for my birthday as an early birthday present.
It looks like I've had one. I think I've had Hickey the Rake. I think that's it.
I mean, I figured we'd do this one because Wylam is so, out of the few that we had all together, I thought Wylam, known for being immense. So I thought, let's go with the most immense of the all-togethers.
You know what I'm like? I shy away from hype beers. I'm contrary.
It's not a stout, so you wouldn't.
Right. It's not stout. No. It's not a sour. They're a hype beer, so I'm like, nah, mate, not interested.
I'll take them all. It's fine.
Everybody else is interested. I'm not.
I'll take the hype. I'll take the non-hype. I'll take pretty much anything. Low ABV, high ABV. As long as it's not no ABV. I can't do those. I don't get on well with those.
Really? You don't do no alcohol?
Because all the ones I've tried have been rubbish, which is why we have to do for January, sober January.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dry January. Yeah. It's like, what is it? It's like, what's the saying? Sober January. Dry January.
We'll try some really good ones.
To try some actual good ones. I hear Big Drop's good.
Big Drop are very good.
I think I've never had them.
Although I will say, I had a sour from them and it wasn't good. It's basically vinegar, but I think that's what they would like. When you actually looked at the ingredients, they had put vinegar in it. So I was like, yeah,
no bueno.
But I've had some absolutely fantastic ones from them. I think they've done a pumpkin spice in their winter pack.
I was like, obviously I'm gonna drink that. Like, don't.
I'm pretty sure they did.
No ABV. I'm obviously gonna drink that.
I'm sure I saw a pumpkin spice in there and was like, oh, but you've got to buy like the winter pack to get it.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I know you would. I know you would. But they're hazelnut.
Like, oops, how did this fall into my cart? This is crazy.
Was it hazelnut or hazelnut coffee porter they did? Was
also
delicious.
We'll have it.
Yeah, that was delicious. Brewdog's hazy AF is lovely.
I think my problem with the Brewdog, not to bring it back to Brewdog, is again.
Here we are again. Gonna get a complaint.
I think my problem with those ones were I tried them when they kind of were first released. So I bought the Raspberry Blitz. Ooh, and I was like, this is not a beer. It's not really like, if I want a sour beer, this is not going to do it for me. I would rather just have some juice than sit and have that, or some sparkling water. Because I was like, I don't feel I'm actually getting less calories in this than having some berry sparkling water. And I was like, it's not scratching that itch for me. And I guess for me, I don't find myself in situations where I go, oh, I need some no ABV beer, I just go, I'll have some water or juice.
Yeah.
So I've never really explored, because I went, that's not good.
Fair.
And then I've just not explored.
That's fair. But Raspberry Blitz wasn't a fave. The faux foxes are better. I think they've improved on the blitzes going to the faux foxes. I have not yet had actual wake up call, but I believe I had it when they were testing it as a small batch coffee stout that was low ABV when I was doing a tour of Brewdog bars, and that was delicious. I think when you have a low ABV beer, we are completely off topic right now.
I was just going to say we've got to save all this because this has got to be a separate episode.
We'll just repeat ourselves, but I think when you're having an ABV beer, a low ABV, low or no ABV beer, you've got to make it's not going to be the same as a 6%. It is just going to be different. So if there are reasons for you to go for that, if you still want to have a beer and with no alcohol in it, there are suitable alternatives, but they're not going to be the same as having a 6-7% beer, a barrel aged beer, blah blah. You got to have it for the right situation.
I've got so many things to say on it, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to save it because I'm like, actually, I've got controversial things to say.
Brilliant.
But I am not going to say the controversial things now because this is all about good karma.
Yes.
So I'm going to hold off and we'll talk about it in January when maybe I change my mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my karma. I won't. It's not disrespectful.
Okay, that's fine.
It's just daring. I've got daring views.
Okay. Devil's advocate moments.
Yeah. We'll see. Saving it for January, for dry January, for a sober January.
Yep.
Well, I'm not actually going to go sober, but
yeah, just for that episode.
Just one episode sober.
Do you want to pick your favourite from the beers this evening?
It's a bit of a difficult one because I feel like Wylam one is quite different to the Clean Water Lager and the 8 Trill Pils, where I feel like the Pilsner and the Lager are obviously much closer than the All Together. So I feel like the Wylam for me is quite good, but it kind of stands on its own. I really like the 8 Trill Pils quite a lot. The Clean Water Lager is good, but it's good as like fridge filler good. It's not something that I go, I want to be blown away, I'm going to have this. It's I'm steady drinking, I'm going to have this. So I would say probably between All Together and 8 Trill Pils. What about you?
I like all of them for different reasons. But the one that I've drunk the most of is 8 Trill Pils, which is a surprise because me and Pilsners are not usually friends. And I've enjoyed it a lot.
That's like you and lagers. You don't like lagers.
No, I don't like lagers, yet here I am drinking one.
Except this
one and this one and this one and this one. It's all a lie. I said on the Oktoberfest episode, when I say I don't like lagers, it's a lie.
And to be fair, I think we agreed separately. I don't know if I said it on the episode, but I do the same thing. I'm like, I don't even like lagers that much. And then I'm like, but this one's quite nice.
Got to be more specific. I don't like German Pilsners. And I really tell you what I really don't like. I don't like Kolsch.
Oh,
don't like a Kolsch.
I'm not trying to go off topic again, but the Melissa Kolsch that Neptune Brewery did was really
I
good.
really wanted to get that just because I love a bit of Melissa.
I had it.
Yeah, was it good?
On tap at Siren because they did their guest tap takeover situation. It was very good. I got it because the name, obviously the pun in the name made me laugh, and I was like, well, I have to have it now. And arguably one of my favorite ones that I had when I went there and had them and sat outside. It was really good. So.
That would probably be the only time I'd
still not charity. It didn't.
No, not charity. Not what we're talking about.
Charity
That's
anybody.
Probably the only Kolsch that I'll be like, yes, I'm going to consent to drinking this. Because it's Neptune and because it's Melissa Cole, because they're both fabulous. We love them both.
Yes, we do. So yeah, I think we agree they're all really good for their own rights. They all support really good charities. think we mentioned some really good charities. Hopefully we've given some that people want to go and look up more of. If we've missed any, really sorry. We tried to run through without it being overbearing. So if there's any more that we missed that you want to make sure that we get out there, why don't you just DM one of us and we can put it out there. So how do they reach you, Joanne?
Right, so if you want to get hold of me, I am a woman's brew on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Or my beer school is Love Beer Learning on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can email us at lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. You can come to the website www.lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can contact the lovely Tori. Where can they find you?
I'm just on Instagram.
I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere, man. Adventures_in_hoptimism. I've got a blog, but I don't really update that as much as I should. But I do put a lot of like pint versus pints because I love me a good beer comparison. But the link to that is in my Instagram. So if you want to read any of that, if you care to read any of that, you can go to my Instagram, click the link, and it will take you to my blog, which I need to update more of because I've got it all written out. I've just not posted all of them.
I am going to put her blog in the show notes. Go and have a look at it because she's always like, oh, my blog that nobody wants to read. They do want to read it. She just doesn't tell anybody about it. So go and read Tori's blog because her opinions are worthwhile.
I genuinely don't. I'm always like, no one wants to read it. And it's like, no one's heard of it because I don't put it out there because I'm rubbish at marketing myself because I think, who wants to listen to me? I don't want to listen to me. So no one else does. But then people read it and they go, that's actually really good. Oh, I think we miss our Taiwan listeners.
I know, we miss our Taiwan listeners.
We love you.
We love everybody in all the other countries. Yeah. Please keep listening to us.
Yeah, we love everybody. We're very loving. We love everyone. But yeah, so DM us if we've missed any charities. Check out Joe's Beer School. Check out my blog when I start being bothered enough to put more beer comparisons, more pint versus pints on there. And let us know of the amazing charities we missed or the ones that you think would be a good idea for breweries to start. Yeah. And we will see you next week, I think.
And then come subscribe to us on YouTube because we're on YouTube as well. Make sure that you subscribe to us on all the big podcasts, wherever you want to find us. Subscribe there to get the latest episode. And that's it from us tonight on our charity beers. Cheers.
Yay, cheers.